The liberation struggle against colonial Rhodesia was marked by extraordinary acts of bravery, strategic brilliance, and profound tragedy. At the heart of this protracted war stood figures like Alfred Nikita Mangena, a military genius whose leadership transformed the Zimbabwe People's Revolutionary Army, ZIPRA, the armed wing of the Zimbabwe African People's Union, ZAPU, into a formidable force. Born on March 16, 1943, in what was then southern Rhodesia, Mangehna, adopting the nom de guerre Alfred Nikita to evade colonial surveillance, rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most celebrated commanders of the Second Chimurenga. His death on June 28, 1978, in a landmine explosion in southern Zambia, remains one of the most enigmatic and controversial events in Zimbabwe's history of independence. Officially attributed to Rhodesian sabotage, the incident has spawned decades of conspiracy theories implicating internal ZAPU factions, Soviet influences, and even post-independence political machinations. This video delves into Mangehna's life, the circumstances of his demise, and the enduring controversies, drawing on eyewitness accounts, historical records, and scholarly analyses to provide a comprehensive, factual narrative. Mangehna's story is not just one of personal sacrifice, but a microcosm of the internal divisions and external pressures that plagued the liberation movements. His death sent shockwaves through ZAPU and the broader African Liberation Front, echoing the assassinations of other icons like Josiah Tongogara of ZANU and Chris Hani of the ANC. As Zimbabwe marks over 4 decades since independence, revisiting Mangehna's legacy underscores the unresolved questions about betrayal and heroism in the fight for freedom. Alfred Mangehna was born to Beke Mangehna and Elizabeth Mangehna in Fort Rickson, in Sisa District, Matabeleland South. His early education reflected a promising intellect. He excelled at Namanda Primary School and later at Musima Boarding School, where he consistently topped his class and served as school captain. Missionaries sponsored his secondary education at Chegato Secondary School, where he again captained the student body in 1963. His academic prowess earned him entry into Chingola Secondary School in Zambia in 1964, where he topped Form 2. However, the winds of political awakening swept through southern Rhodesia in the 1960s. ZAPU, founded in 1961 as a successor to the banned Southern Rhodesia African National Congress, was actively recruiting for the armed struggle. In 1965, amid escalating tensions following the unilateral declaration of independence by Ian Smith's Rhodesian Front regime, Mangehna volunteered. Despite his uncle's endorsement for further studies, the 22-year-old chose the path of armed resistance, embodying the sacrifices of a generation. He crossed into Zambia, joining the first cohort of ZAPU cadres for military training. Mangehna's initial training took place in Tanzania and later in the Soviet Union, where he refined his skills in military engineering, combat tactics, judo, and guerrilla warfare. By 1967, he participated in the Lutuli Detachment, a joint operation with the ANC Spear of the Nation, led by the Algerian-trained Gedi Dube. This incursion into Rhodesia marked one of the earliest coordinated cross-border raids, though it suffered heavy losses. Mangehna's resilience shone through. He survived multiple skirmishes and emerged as a natural leader. Eyewitnesses from Morogoro training camps recall his strict discipline. During exercises, he once reprimanded a recruit for a failed mock ambush, breathing fire to instill precision. By the early 1970s, ZAPU's military wing, initially under the Office of Special Affairs commanded by Akim Ndlovu, faced internal turmoil. The 1971 Floresi, Front for the Liberation of Zimbabwe, split, led by James Chikarima and George Nandoro, nearly dismantled the organization. From the remnants, ZIPRA was reconstituted in 1971, with Jevan Masayko as acting commander-in-chief and Mangehna appointed as chief of staff, a role effectively equivalent to overall commander, as the titular commander title was reserved for party president Joshua Nkomoh. Mangehna became a member of the Zimbabwe People's Revolutionary Council, tasked with rebuilding ZIPRA into a professional army. Under Mangehna's stewardship, ZIPRA evolved from a fragmented guerrilla outfit into a disciplined, Soviet-backed conventional army. His philosophy, train hard and fight easy, emphasized rigorous preparation. He oversaw the establishment of specialized departments: Sifasali for personnel and training, Gedi Dube for operations, Jabulani Nkube for medical services, Lookout Masuku for commissariat, Gordon Munyanyi for intelligence and communications, and Report Mfoko for logistics. Mangehna's strategic innovations were groundbreaking. Recognizing the Zambezi River as a logistical bottleneck for incursions into Rhodesia, he spearheaded the creation of a Zippra naval unit. Cadres like Josh and Joshua Mpofu commandeered fishing boats, converting them into engine-powered vessels. This unorthodox approach conquered the Zambezi, enabling intensified operations in Matabeleland and beyond. By 1975, Zippra had grown to thousands of fighters, trained in Tanzania's Morogoro camps and Mozambique under the short-lived Zimbabwe People's Army, ZIPRA, alliance with ZANU-ZANLA. In ZIPRA, Mangehna served as second-in-command to Ambrose Mutihuri, but the alliance collapsed due to ethnic and ideological tensions. Mangehna led a 1977 ZIPRA uprising against ZAPU moderates, with hundreds of fighters storming party headquarters in Lusaka, Zambia, not a coup against Nkomoh, but a bid to reassert military autonomy. His rapport with Soviet advisors was strong. They favored him and Moyo for their efficiency, viewing Nkomoh's leadership as too conciliatory. Mangehna openly challenged politicians, warning them against meddling in military affairs, which earned him both admiration and enemies. Personal life intertwined with duty. Mangehna was engaged to Sigohgay Kiso Madea, whom he met in exile. Their wedding was planned for Lusaka in 1978, but fate intervened. Madea, who passed away in May 2025 at age 69, remained a pillar of strength, raising their son Latshi amid post-war hardships. June 1978 was a perilous month for Zippra. Rhodesian forces, under the Elite Special Air Service, SAS, intensified cross-border raids into Zambia to disrupt guerrilla logistics. On June 25th, an SAS ambush near Deka Drums on the Zambezi Valley killed 30 Zippra cadres in a landmine explosion after their vehicles were halted. 3 days later, on June 28th, Mangehna, despite warnings from Nkomoh and others, led a high-command inspection of the site. Accompanied by Jevan Masayko, Eddie Sigohgay, Gedi Dube, Jack Mpofu, and Stanford Moyo, they traveled in 3 Land Rovers southeast of Kabahnga Mission, off the Choma-Lusaka road. Eyewitness accounts, including from Stanford Moyo, describe the horror. The lead vehicle detonated a landmine, flipping and trapping Mangehna underneath. He cried for help as comrades lifted the wreckage. Bleeding profusely, Mangehna gasped his last breath in Moyo's arms. A Zambian Air Force helicopter airlifted his body to Lusaka, but it was too late. The New York Times reported the incident on June 29, 1978, noting sketchy details but highlighting Mangehna's role in sweeps into Rhodesia. Rhodesian sources, per Barbara Coles the Elite, claimed SAS monitoring of Zambian communications confirmed the second blast, with Captain Colin Willis scrambling to recover Mangehna's body for propaganda, a mission that failed. Nkomoh, who had repeatedly urged Mangehna not to go, mourned deeply, but the loss temporarily paralyzed Zippra. Lookout Masuku assumed command, stabilizing the force amid grief. While the official ZAPU narrative attributes Mangehna's death to Rhodesian sabotage, a view widely accepted in liberation circles, the incident has fueled persistent controversies. Rhodesians expressed satisfaction at his demise, but internal theories implicate ZAPU leaders fearing Mangehna's growing power. A 1998 All-Africa report linked 2 cabinet ministers and other politicians to his alleged assassination by 12 Zippra guerrillas, planned at a Lusaka farmhouse. Sources claimed Mangehna, ambitious and backed by the Soviets, threatened Nkomoh's authority. He was seen as a spy for challenging the demigod leader. His fiancée, Madea, faced threats post-death, with Nkomoh accused of failing to protect her. MK veteran Thwala dismissed the landmine story, alleging Mangehna was eliminated for becoming too powerful, with ZAPU leaders showing no remorse. The Gedi document, referenced in Path Isa Nyathi's biography, attributes accusations to Clement Mangehna at the 1994 reburial, suggesting that reorganization was anticipated following Nikita's demise. Eyewitnesses like retired Major Ben Kube and Jack Mpofu counter these, insisting on Rhodesian culpability and denying rivalries with Masuku or Dumiso de Bangwa. Comparisons to Tongogara's 1979 car crash, also suspicious, highlight patterns of eliminating rising stars. No conclusive evidence proves internal foul play, but the lack of investigation perpetuates speculation. Mangehna's death was a blow, but Zippra soldiered on, contributing to the 1980 Lancaster House Agreement. Post-independence, he was declared a national hero, reburied at Heroes Acre on August 11, 1998. In 2018, President Emerson Mnangagwa named the Zimbabwe National Defense University Cantonment the Rogers Alfred Nikita Mangena Barracks. His widow's 2025 death drew condolences from Vice President Constantino Chiwenga and ZAPU, highlighting ongoing veteran neglect. Alfred Nikita Mangena's death, whether battlefield casualty or orchestrated hit, symbolizes the brutal complexities of Zimbabwe's liberation. His strategic acumen built ZIPRA, yet controversies linger, fueled by power struggles and unproven allegations. As Zimbabwe grapples with its past, Mangena's legacy demands transparency. An official inquiry could honor his sacrifice by clarifying the truth. Until then, he remains a poignant reminder of heroes lost to war's ambiguities.